The acceptance letter trembles in my hands, the crisp linen paper a stark contrast to the sudden clamminess of my palms. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The word swim, a constellation of my wildest dreams shimmering in black ink. A full ride, not just tuition, but room, board, everything. 4 years of freedom, of challenge, of becoming someone other than the quiet, dutiful daughter. Mom's voice cuts through the fog of my triumph, sharp as shattered glass. Maya, you're giving your scholarship to Sophia. Family comes first. I look up from the letter, my heart plummeting from my throat to the pit of my stomach. My mother stands in the doorway of the living room, her arms crossed, her face set in that familiar mask of unyielding expectation. Beside her, my cousin Sophia leans against the frame, a smug, knowing smile playing on her lips. The metallic taste of betrayal, coppery and bitter, floods my mouth. What? The word is a whisper, a puff of air. It can't be real. This has to be one of my aunt's cruel jokes. You heard me, Mom says, her voice leaving no room for argument. Sophia's grades weren't quite good enough to get in on her own, and your aunt and uncle can't afford the tuition. You're smart, Maya. You can get into other schools. This is for the family. My gaze flicks to Sophia. Her perfectly manicured nails tap a staccato rhythm against her phone screen. She doesn't even have the decency to look me in the eye. She's cheated her way through high school, paying for essays, sweet-talking teachers, copying my homework whenever she could. And I let her, because that's what I do. I make things easy for everyone else. But this is different. This is my entire future. I earned this, I say, my voice shaking but finding a sliver of strength. I worked for this every single day for 4 years. Sophia finally looks up, her eyes glinting with a victory she hasn't earned. And we're all so proud of you for it, which is why you'll understand that it's for the best. It keeps the family from having to struggle. My chest constricts with a rage so pure, it feels like swallowing glass. The air in my lungs turns to fire. Every late night studying, every weekend spent in the lab, every sacrifice I made. They want to hand it all over to her on a silver platter because her parents spoiled her into incompetence. They aren't asking. They are telling me. My achievement is not my own. It's a family asset to be allocated to the neediest party, and in my family, need is always defined by who cries the loudest. You have to transfer the scholarship to her name, my mom continues, her tone softening into the manipulative guise of maternal wisdom. The school has a process for it. You just need to sign the forms and write a letter explaining your decision. My decision? I choke out a laugh that sounds more like a sob. You mean your decision? My aunt and uncle appear behind them now, a united front of entitlement. Maya, don't be selfish, my uncle says, his voice a low grumble. We've always treated you like a daughter. A lie, they've always treated me like a resource. A free tutor, an unpaid babysitter, a stepping stone for their precious, perfect daughter. I glance at the clock on the mantelpiece, 11 p.m. The ink on the acceptance letter, my golden ticket, blurs through the sudden hot tears welling in my eyes. When is the deadline? I ask, my voice hollow. Sophia answers, her voice dripping with false sympathy. Tomorrow, at 5 p.m., 18 hours. I have 18 hours to sign away my life's work. The walls of the room feel like they're closing in, the air thick with the weight of their collective demand. They're all staring at me, their faces a gallery of expectation and familial blackmail. For them, this is a simple transaction, a redistribution of fortune. For me, it's the execution of a dream. And as I stand there, the letter still trembling in my hand, I can feel something inside me begin to break. Or maybe, just maybe, it's beginning to harden. I slam my bedroom door, the sound echoing the violent slam of my heart against my ribs. The sobs I've been holding back finally break free, hot and ragged. I collapse onto my bed, burying my face in my pillow to muffle the sound. It's not fair. The injustice of it is a physical weight, pressing down on my chest, making it impossible to breathe. For a few minutes, I let the grief wash over me. I mourn the future that was mine for a fleeting, glorious moment. I see the MIT campus in my mind's eye, the labs, the libraries, the life I was supposed to have. And then I see Sophia there in my place, laughing, succeeding on the back of my effort, my sacrifice. That image is what does it. The rage returns, colder and sharper this time. It cuts through the despair, giving it form and focus. I sit up, wiping the tears from my face with the back of my hand. I am not a resource. I am not a stepping stone, and I will not let them do this to me. My laptop sits open on my desk, the screensaver a swirling galaxy, a universe of possibilities I refuse to surrender. The deadline clock I set glows in the corner, 17 hours, 48 minutes. The red numbers are a countdown, not to my defeat, but to my defiance. My fingers shake as I open a browser and navigate to the university's contact page. My eyes scan the list of departments until I find it. Office of Admissions. I find a name, Dr. Evelyn Chen, Dean of Admissions. It's a long shot calling this late, but I have to try something, anything. I dial the number, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against the silence of my room. It rings once, twice, 3 times. I'm about to hang up when a crisp, professional voice answers. Admissions, Dr. Chen's office. Hello, I begin, my voice still thick with emotion. My name is Maya Liu. I need to speak with Dr. Chen. It's an emergency. There's a pause. I can hear the gentle click of a keyboard. Dr. Chen has gone home for the evening. Can I take a message? No, I insist, a new, unfamiliar boldness rising in me. It can't wait. It's about the Tang Scholarship. It's about scholarship fraud concerns. The word hangs in the air between us. Fraud. It feels dangerous, irreversible. The person on the other end of the line is silent for a moment. I imagine them weighing my words, deciding if I'm a crank or if this is something serious. One moment, Miss Liu. I wait, the dial tone a monotonous hum in my ear. I stare at the clock, 17 hours, 42 minutes. Every second feels like an eternity. I rehearse the words in my head, trying to sound calm, credible, not like a hysterical teenager. This isn't just about being forced to give something up. It's about the integrity of the entire process. Finally, a new voice comes on the line, sharp and alert. This is Dr. Chen. To whom am I speaking? Dr. Chen, I say, my voice steadier now. My name is Maya Liu. You just awarded me the Tang Full Ride Scholarship. I remember your application, Miss Liu. Congratulations. Your research proposal on quantum entanglement was one of the most impressive I've seen from a high school student. Her words are a balm to my wounded spirit. She sees me. She sees my work. Thank you. That's why I'm calling. My family. They're forcing me to transfer the scholarship to my cousin, Sophia Chen. I hear a sharp intake of breath on the other end. Forcing you? Miss Liu, the transfer process is in place for students who have a change of heart or circumstances. It must be entirely voluntary. It's not voluntary, I say, the words tumbling out now. They're telling me I have to do it for the good of the family. They're pressuring me to sign the forms by tomorrow. This is about integrity. My family is forcing me to commit academic dishonesty by putting my name to a lie, by saying this is my choice. Dr. Chen's voice turns sharp, cutting through my frantic explanation. Miss Liu, are you saying this transfer isn't voluntary? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. They want me to lie to you, to the university. I take a deep, shuddering breath. My cousin. She doesn't deserve it. I don't think she could even handle the coursework. This isn't just about me losing my spot. It's about someone unqualified taking a place that hundreds of other brilliant students would die for. The silence stretches. I've laid it all out, a desperate last-ditch plea to a stranger on the phone. I've accused my own family. I've questioned my cousin's merit. There's no going back from this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Miss Liu, Dr. Chen says finally, her voice measured and serious. This is a very grave allegation. We take the integrity of our scholarship awards extremely seriously. I cannot make you any promises, but I will be opening an immediate internal review. Do not sign anything. Do not respond to your family's pressure. I will be in touch tomorrow morning. Thank you, I whisper, relief washing over me so intensely it makes me dizzy. Thank you. I hang up the phone and stare at my reflection in the dark screen of my laptop. My face is pale, my eyes red-rimmed, but there's something new there, too. A flicker of defiance in the set of my jaw. The clock glows red. 16 hours and counting. The timer is still on, but for the first time, I feel like I'm not the one running out of time. They are. The next day at school is a blur of feigned normalcy. I move through the crowded hallways like a ghost, the secret war I declared last night making everything feel distant and unreal. I avoid Sophia, a feat that requires navigating the campus like a fugitive. Every buzz of my phone is a jolt of anxiety. A text from my mother, a missed call from my aunt. I ignore them all. I'm walking to my car after my last class when I hear the sharp, rhythmic click of heels on the concrete behind me. It's a sound I know all too well, a sound that has always preceded some new demand or casual cruelty. Maya, I stop, but don't turn around. I grip the strap of my backpack, my knuckles white. I know you haven't signed the papers, Sophia says, her voice low and dangerously calm as she comes to a stop beside me. The university parking lot, usually a chaotic mess of students eager to escape, feels eerily quiet. My mom called your mom. You're not answering your phone. You're making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Maybe it needs to be hard, I say, finally turning to face her. Her face, usually arranged in a mask of vapid sweetness, is tight with anger. The mask is slipping. You think you're so smart, don't you? She hisses, taking a step closer. The wind whips a strand of her perfectly highlighted hair across her face. You think calling the university is going to change anything? I've been planning this for months. Her words hit me like a physical blow. Planning what? I demand, my voice rising. Planning to steal my future? She laughs, a cold, ugly sound. Planning this, she sneers, gesturing vaguely between us. Securing my place. You were always just the backup plan, cousin? The safety net. A cold dread begins to creep up my spine, colder than the autumn wind cutting through my jacket. This feels like more than just a last-minute opportunistic power play. This feels calculated. What are you talking about? How have you been planning this? Your precious recommendation letters, she says, her lips twisting into a triumphant smirk. The world tilts on its axis. My recommendation letters from Mr. Davies in physics and Dr. Albright in chemistry. They were glowing. They were the cornerstone of my application, testaments to my passion and dedication. What about them? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. You're so naive, she says, shaking her head in mock pity. You really think Mr. Davies wrote that letter? After you accidentally turned in that plagiarized lab report? Or that Dr. Albright would recommend you after you anonymously reported her for a safety violation that almost got her research grant pulled? My mind reels, struggling to connect the dots. The plagiarized report? I had no idea how that happened. I thought it was a mix-up, a computer glitch. I had to spend a month in detention to make up for it. The anonymous report on Dr. Albright, that was a lie, a rumor that spread like wildfire and was later debunked, but not before it caused her weeks of stress and investigation. I'd felt so bad for her. It was all her. You did that, I breathe, the realization hitting me with the force of a physical impact. She'd been sabotaging me. Not for weeks, not for months, for years. Every unexplained mishap, every sudden obstacle, every time I felt like I was fighting against an unseen current pulling me under. It was her. She'd been laying the groundwork, chipping away at my reputation, ensuring that if it came down to it, she could cast enough doubt to make a move like this possible. She wasn't just trying to take what was mine. She had been actively trying to make sure I couldn't get it in the first place. I just planted the seeds, she says with a shrug. It's amazing what people will believe when it's whispered in the right ear. I knew your grades and your test scores would still be perfect. You're a robot like that. So I had to go after the one thing that was subjective. Your character. She leans in, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Don't worry, I made sure the real letters got to MIT. The ones that painted you as brilliant but unstable. Prone to academic dishonesty under pressure. A risk. My letters, on the other hand? Flawless. I stare at her, speechless. It was a long con, a meticulous campaign of character assassination designed to cripple me from the inside out, engineered by the person who was supposed to be my family. The smugness on her face is absolute. She believes she has won. She has all the angles covered, every contingency planned for. Why, I finally managed to ask, the question feeling small and useless in the face of such profound malice. Because I deserve it, she says simply, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. I deserve the life you are going to have, and now I'm going to get it. So you are going to go home, you are going to sign those papers, and you are going to write that letter. Because if you don't, I will make sure that the next university you apply to hears all about your little cheating problem. I have the proof I fabricated. Do you? She turns and walks away, her heels clicking a death knell on the pavement. The countdown timer in my head is gone, replaced by a suffocating certainty. Dr. Chen's investigation won't be enough. It will be my word against Sophia's carefully constructed web of lies. And in a world that loves to tear down girls like me, the brilliant ones, the ambitious ones, I know whose story they are more likely to believe. She hasn't just planned to take my scholarship. She's planned to destroy my entire credibility. My phone buzzes on the nightstand. It's an email, the sender, Dr. Evelyn Chen, Dean of Admissions, MIT. My heart leaps into my throat. I've been waiting for this for 3 days, locked in a cold war with my family, who have alternated between threats and tearful pleas. I haven't spoken a word to any of them. I've been living on protein bars and the dregs of my own adrenaline. I open the email, my hands shaking so badly I can barely control the mouse. Dear Miss Liu, thank you for your patience as we conducted our internal review. The allegations you raised were of the utmost seriousness, and I want to assure you they were investigated thoroughly. We have found evidence of significant academic misconduct related to your cousin, Sophia Chen's application. A breath I didn't know I was holding escapes me in a shuddering gasp. It worked. They believed me. Our review uncovered several discrepancies. Firstly, we discovered that the recommendation letters submitted on your behalf were indeed tampered with. The original laudatory letters from your teachers were intercepted and replaced with forged versions containing damaging, unsubstantiated claims. Secondly, and more disturbingly, we cross-referenced Sophia's submitted academic records with the official transcripts from her high school's encrypted server. They do not match. The grades on her application were significantly inflated. Finally, your research project, which you submitted as part of your application, was also submitted by Sophia to another university verbatim. We have confirmed the timestamps on your original file predate hers by over 7 months. In light of these findings, Sophia Chen's offer of admission has been rescinded. Your scholarship, Maya, is secure. We are proud to welcome a student of your integrity and brilliance to the MIT community. Sincerely, Dr. Evelyn Chen. Tears stream down my face, hot and cleansing. I'm laughing and crying at the same time, a wild, uncontainable wave of relief and vindication. I did it. I fought back, and I won. I stand up, wanting to scream, to run, to do something with this explosive energy. I grab my car keys. I don't know where I'm going, I just need to move. The road is dark, the streetlights a blurry smear through my tear-filled eyes. I'm driving too fast, I know, but I don't care. For the first time in my life, I feel utterly, completely free. The weight of my family's expectations, of Sophia's jealousy, it's all gone. That's when I see the headlights. They appear out of nowhere, swerving into my lane. There's a screech of tires, mine or theirs, I don't know. A blinding flash of light. The world becomes a symphony of shattering glass and twisting metal. My head hits the steering wheel, a starburst of white-hot pain erupting behind my eyes. The world fades in and out. I can hear sirens, distant and warped. I can taste blood. I try to move, but my body won't respond. My vision clears for a moment, and I see another car, a crumpled wreck a few feet from mine. And through the shattered windshield, I see her, Sophia. Her face is a mask of horror, her eyes wide, staring right at me. She was following me. Then darkness, a complete and total void. Is this it? Is this how it ends? I win the battle for my future only to have it snatched away by a random, meaningless accident? The irony is so cruel, so absolute. It feels like the punchline to a cosmic joke. I'm floating. There's no pain, no fear. Just a sense of waiting. I see my life not as a film, but as a series of still images. My first microscope, the blue ribbon at the state science fair, my parents' disappointed faces when I chose physics over medicine, Sophia, always there, lurking in the background, her smile a shadow over every achievement, the acceptance letter, Dr. Chen's email, the crash. And then I wake up. I'm sitting at my desk. My heart is pounding, a frantic drum against my ribs. My head aches, a dull throb that feels like a phantom of a much greater pain. The room is quiet, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the floor. I look down at my hands. They're steady, unmarked. On the desk in front of me lies a thick linen envelope. It's sealed. My name and address are printed on the front in elegant script from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's the day it all began. I snatch my phone from the desk. The date glows on the screen. April 15th, 6 months. I've woken up 6 months in the past. The crash. It didn't happen. The confrontation, Dr. Chen's email, none of it has happened yet. I stumble to the bathroom and stare at my reflection in the mirror. I look the same, younger maybe, less haunted. But inside, I am a ghost. I remember it all. I remember dying. I remember the acrid smell of burnt rubber and the sight of Sophia's face in the moment before everything went black. Is this a dream? A hallucination brought on by a concussion? I pinch my arm hard. The sharp sting of pain is undeniable. It's real. All of it is real. The first timeline, the crash. And this is a second chance. A slow, cold smile spreads across my face, an expression that doesn't belong to the girl I was this morning. It belongs to the woman who died on a dark road, betrayed and victorious in the same instant. I pick up the unopened letter. I already know what it says. I know the fight that is coming. But this time, it's not going to be a fair fight. This time, I know every move Sophia is going to make before she does. I know every lie she's going to tell. I know the depths of her deception, the full extent of her sabotage. In the first timeline, I was a victim fighting back. I was reacting, defending. This time, I will be the architect. I will be the one setting the traps. I won't just expose her lies. I will orchestrate her downfall with the same meticulous precision she once used to try and destroy me. I tear open the envelope and read the words I already know by heart. The joy is gone, replaced by an icy resolve. This letter is no longer a dream. It's a weapon, and I know exactly how to use it. The rage is still there, but it's different now. It's not a hot wildfire. It's a glacier, cold and silent and unstoppable. Sophia wanted a war. This time she'll get one. But she'll be fighting a ghost, and I already know how it ends. The next morning, I walk into school a different person. The nervous energy, the quiet deference, it's all gone, burned away in the memory of the crash. I carry my foreknowledge like a concealed weapon. Every interaction is filtered through this new, chilling clarity. I see the whispers, the sidelong glances from students Sophia has already poisoned against me. Before, they were confusing and hurtful. Now, they are data points in a war I am already winning. My first target is the guidance office. Mr. Williams, a man with a perpetually tired expression and a wardrobe of rumpled cardigans, is the gatekeeper of our academic records. In the first timeline, he was a sympathetic but ultimately ineffective bureaucrat. This time, he will be my instrument. I don't make an appointment. I walk straight into his office during a free period, closing the door firmly behind me. I'm carrying a simple, unlabeled flash drive. Maya, he says, looking up from his computer, surprised. What can I do for you? I have some information you need to see, I say, my voice even and calm. I plug the flash drive into his desktop computer. On it is a single, password-protected folder. It contains every piece of evidence I've spent the last 6 months gathering, a task made infinitely easier by knowing exactly what to look for and where. Hacking isn't my forte, but desperation and the memory of my own death is a powerful motivator. I hired a freelance cybersecurity expert online, a ghost like me, paid for with the money I'd been saving for college textbooks. I'm concerned about academic fraud, I say, watching his face as I type in the password. A folder opens, revealing dozens of files. Spreadsheets, screenshots, audio recordings. This is a spreadsheet of Sophia Chen's real grades. cross-referenced with the inflated ones on the transcript she has on file with you. As you can see, she's a C&D student, not an A student. Mr. Williams leans forward, his eyes widening as he scrolls through the data. Maya, this is... Where did you get this? I have my sources, I say, letting the ambiguity hang in the air. Now look at this. These are logs from the school's student portal. See the IP address that accessed my account multiple times over the past year? The one that downloaded my research papers and submitted a plagiarized lab report under my name? It traces back to my aunt and uncle's house. I click on another file, and this is a recording from 3 days ago. Listen. I press play. Sophia's voice fills the small office, bragging to a friend on the phone. Yeah, the SATs were a joke. I paid a guy to take them for me. Best $2,000 I ever spent. He got a 1580. My parents will never know. Mr. Williams leans back in his chair, his face pale. He looks from the screen to me, his expression a mixture of shock and horror. These are serious allegations, Maya. They are serious crimes. I correct him gently. Wire fraud, conspiracy, academic dishonesty on a level that could invalidate our school's accreditation if it gets out. I let that sink in. I'm not just a student with a grievance anymore. I'm protecting the school's reputation. Just then, the door opens and Sophia walks in. Her smile is bright and plastic. Oh, Mr. Williams, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to check on the status of my... She stops short when she sees me, her eyes narrowing. She glances at the screen and the color drains from her face. You're making a mistake, she stammers, looking at Mr. Williams, her voice laced with panic. But he isn't looking at her. He's looking at me. For the first time, he sees me not as a troubled student, but as someone in control. He cuts her off, his voice sharp with newfound authority. These are serious allegations, Miss Chen. Check the timestamps, I say calmly, my gaze locked on Sophia's. Check when she accessed my student portal, the same nights my assignments were accidentally deleted. That's impossible, she begins, her voice trembling. Is it, cousin? I ask, the single word dripping with all the history and betrayal that lies between us. She flinches as if struck. The wall clock in the office ticks loudly, each second a hammer blow against the crumbling facade of Sophia's life. The scholarship committee meeting is in 3 hours. My second chance is shrinking, but this time it feels like an eternity. I have her, completely and utterly. I'll need to speak with the principal, Mr. Williams says, his voice grim. And your parents. Of course, I say, pulling the flash drive from his computer and dropping it into my pocket. Do what you have to do. I turn to leave, pausing at the door to look back at Sophia. She's frozen, her face a canvas of pure, unadulterated terror. She finally understands. This isn't a fight she can win. She's not up against her quiet, timid cousin anymore. She's up against a ghost with a perfect memory and nothing left to lose. The scholarship ceremony is held in the grand auditorium, a room usually reserved for graduation. The air is thick with the scent of wilting floral arrangements and parental pride. I sit in the front row with the other finalists, a sea of nervous, hopeful faces. My family is here, sitting a few rows back. They haven't spoken to me since the principal called them. Their faces are grim, their anger a palpable force in the room. They believe I've betrayed them. They have no idea the depths of the betrayal run the other way. Sophia is on the stage. The committee, in their infinite wisdom, decided to proceed with the ceremony while their investigation continued. They wanted to avoid a scandal. They've handed the microphone to the devil herself. She looks stunning in a white dress, a vision of innocence and accomplishment. It's sickening. She begins her acceptance speech, the one I know she paid someone to write for her. It's full of false humility and platitudes about hard work and dreaming big. The stage feels less like a place of honor and more like a courtroom, and she is the star witness, perjuring herself with every word. I can see her glance at me, a flicker of triumphant hatred in her eyes. She thinks she's weathered the storm. She thinks her parents' lawyers and threats have made this all go away. I watch her, my heart a steady, rhythmic beat. I let her spin her web of lies, letting the tension in the room build. I wait for the perfect moment, the peak of her fraudulent performance. And so I want to thank my family. she says, her voice thick with fake emotion. For always believing in me and my cousin Maya, for being such a good sport about all of this. That's my cue, I stand up. A murmur ripples through the audience. All eyes turn to me. The Dean of Admissions, who is on stage with Sophia, looks at me with alarm. I'm sorry, I say, my voice clear and carrying through the silent auditorium. But I can't let this continue. Sophia's face hardens. Maya, what are you doing? Sit down. No, I say, taking a step toward the stage. I think the committee and our families deserve to hear the truth. You can't prove anything, she hisses into the microphone, the feedback screeching for a moment. Her voice is low, meant only for me, but in the tense silence, everyone hears it. Actually, I can, I reply, my voice unwavering. I start walking up the steps to the stage. You're bluffing, Maya. Am I? I reach the podium and stand beside her. We are inches apart, two sides of a tarnished coin. Tell them about the fake recommendation from Professor Kim at Stanford. The one you submitted for your early action application. Her composure finally cracks. A flicker of pure panic flashes in her eyes. That's not... How did you... The same way I know about your SAT proxy, I continue, my voice relentless. A young man from Caltech, I believe? You paid him $2,000 to take the test for you. He got a 1580. You, on your practice tests, never broke 1100. Gasps ripple through the crowd. My aunt and uncle are on their feet, their faces contorted with rage. Sophia is shaking her head, her eyes darting around wildly, looking for an escape. You have no evidence, she screams into the microphone, her voice shrill and desperate. I have everything, I say, my voice dropping to a calm, lethal tone. I pull the folder from under my arm. It's not the flash drive this time, it's paper, hard copies, something the older generation on the committee can hold in their hands, can't dismiss as digital trickery. I slide the forensic report across the podium, the one detailing the IP addresses, the hacked portals, the plagiarized papers. I slide out the bank statement showing the $2,000 withdrawal. I slide out the sworn affidavit from the boy who took her SATs, who was more than willing to cooperate in exchange for immunity. Cameras flash, a series of blinding strobes that illuminate the truth. Sophia's face turns ashen. It's over. Every lie, every shortcut, every malicious act laid bare for the world to see. I turn to the dean. This scholarship is supposed to be about merit, about integrity. Sophia Chen has neither, but this isn't just about her, or me. I look out at the audience, at the other finalists. Her cheating didn't just hurt me. It pushed out every other deserving candidate. People who worked hard. People who were honest. I found out she did this to at least 3 other students at our school, sabotaging their applications to eliminate the competition. The scholarship is mine, yes, I earned it. But more importantly, I've saved the integrity of this award, and I've saved the 3 other students she would have destroyed next. Silence. A thick, heavy silence hangs in the auditorium. Then someone starts to clap. A slow, solitary clap from the back. Then another, and another, until the entire room is filled with thunderous applause. It's not for me, not really. It's for the truth. It's for the simple, satisfying moment of seeing justice served. Sophia stands there, exposed and defeated, the sound of her public humiliation washing over her. She's finally, truly alone. Scholarship fraud carries a felony charge. The detective's words are flat, devoid of emotion, but they land like grenades in the sterile quiet of the principal's office. He's speaking to my aunt and uncle. Their faces, once so full of arrogance and entitlement, are now slack with disbelief and terror. Sophia sits between them, shrunken and silent, her white dress now looking like a shroud. The conspiracy and wire fraud charges associated with the SAT proxy are even more serious. Her life, the one she was so desperate to steal, is now a cascade of court dates and legal fees. They don't look at me. I'm an invisible force in the room, a ghost who has passed judgment. As I walk out of the office, I feel my mother's eyes on me. There's no pride in her gaze, only a cold, bitter resentment. In her world, I broke the cardinal rule. I put myself before the family. I chose the truth over their comfort. I refuse to be their sacrifice. That was the last time any of them willingly spoke to me. 2 years later, the fluorescent lights of the MIT robotics lab hum around me. I'm calibrating the sensor array on a prototype drone, my fingers moving with a familiar, confident precision. I am graduating summa cum laude in 3 months. My thesis on swarm intelligence has already been accepted for publication in a major journal. I have a job offer from Boston Dynamics waiting for me. I am happy. No, that's too simple a word. I am at peace. A peace I fought for, bled for, and died for. Sophia is facing her third court hearing next week. The first two ended in mistrials and delays. Her parents burning through their life savings on lawyers who specialize in turning mountains of evidence into molehills of reasonable doubt. But the weight of it all is crushing her. I see photos of her online sometimes, posted by old high school acquaintances. She looks tired, haunted. The family who once demanded I sacrifice my future for hers now pretends I don't exist. No calls on my birthday. No texts on holidays. At first, it stung. The silence was a constant reminder of what I had lost. But now, I understand. The silence is a gift. It's the space I needed to build a new life, a new family of friends and mentors who value me for who I am, not for what I can do for them. It's exactly as I planned. Sometimes when I'm working late in the lab, I'll look out the window at the reflection of the girl staring back at me. I see the scars of the past, not on my skin, but in the depths of my eyes. A certain caution, a hardness that wasn't there before. The memory of the crash, of that brief, terrifying journey into the void, never fully fades. It's a part of me now, a constant, chilling reminder of the price of my second chance. I didn't just want revenge. Revenge is a fire that consumes everything, including the person who lights it. I wanted justice. I wanted to reclaim what was mine and protect others from her malice. But more than that, I wanted to be free. Free from the toxic bonds of obligation, from the weight of their unending demands. They say you shouldn't burn bridges, but they're wrong. Some bridges aren't meant to be crossed. They're built with lies and manipulation, spanning a chasm of resentment. Some bridges are meant to burn completely, leaving no path back to the place that tried to break you. And as I turn back to my work, the city lights of Cambridge twinkling like a new constellation beyond the glass, I watch the last embers fade into the darkness, and I don't feel a single flicker of regret.